Hey everyone, it's Alison Sullivan. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in New Westminster, British Columbia, which is on the west coast of Canada. Welcome. This is where I usually have a live presentation on YouTube and on my Facebook page, but I am away at a business conference with Stampin' Up! So I am going to be doing a recording. So let's start now and go over to our workspace. I'm going to be using the Rock and Roll Suite collection from the January to April Mini Catalogue. It's so fun, this suite. We've got designer series paper. This is 12 by 12, so there's 6 different sheets. You can see here. You can color these in. It's so fun. You can see you got black and white. Okay, so we got 6 different pages, but then if you turn it over, we have 6 more designs. So it's 12 by 12. There's 12 of them, 6 of each. Okay, it's also got this fun set of embellishments. Look at these stars and lightning. They're called adhesive back lightning and stars. Those are so fun. And then, of course, we've got a bundle. We've got the Rock Star stamp set and the Rock Star dies. So if you purchase them as a bundle, you save 10%. So let's start. I wanted to show you this suite and make a card, because whenever a customer makes a online order through my store, which is shopcrazywithalison.com, I will send you a PDF tutorial for free. It's got 12 projects. Here's the 12 little kind of snippets of what's included. It's put together by 12 leader demonstrators from around the world. And we've got boxes and cards and all sorts of things as part of the tutorial. We give you the supply list, the measurements in both metric and imperial, and we provide a video tutorial for each one of them. So you can follow along and make your cards. So today I'm starting with Merry Melody 3D embossing folder. This is fun. It's musical notes, and I thought it would go really well with the rock and roll or the rock star, right? So what I've done is I've gone ahead and embossed the front of a basic gray piece of cardstock. The cardstock is cut 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. Okay, so I've just embossed the front of it. Now I'm going to take a piece of designer series paper. I like the one with the guitars on it. And I'm going to glue it to the left side, so the fold side, with my white Tombow glue, which I love. Sometimes it gets gooey when you close it up for the day. Just going to rub that off my fingers. Okay, so I'm going to put that on the left side there. There we go. So that's what we've got so far. Pretty simple. Now I've got a piece of real red. I love the red with the gray. And I'm going to be stamping a sentiment, this one that says, "Have a rock and roll birthday." So here's my stamp. I'm going to be using embossing powder. And when I'm doing that, I want to take my embossing buddy, I want to rub it across just to remove all the oil that gets from your fingers into your cardstock. The reason I'm doing that, I've got my Versamark. I'm going to ink it, my stamp up. And the reason I'm doing that is I want my embossing powder to stick to my words, but not to the oil that might have transferred onto the cardstock. So that's that, and we'll put all of that away. So I'm using white. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a flick to get rid of the excess if there's any sticking there. Now let's grab our heat tool and we'll heat up our... I love when you use embossing powder. It's so fun because you go from this flat looking word to this beautiful glossy raised with dimension sentiment. I love that. So once it gets heated, it'll start to cook the embossing powder. And there we go. We can see it starting on the word birthday there. And you can see that I'm not moving my heat tool around too much. I want to keep it in one place and heat it up. And then as it makes that chemical reaction from the powder to the finished glossy look, there we go. I'm doing it in a very methodical way. I'm not going all over like a little magic wand. Okay, there we go. All right, so now I want to take my die. Now this is like a huge guitar pick. Love that. Going to grab my repositionable tape because I find that it'll move around if I'm not careful. So let's grab our plates, and that should fit through. Yep. And run that through. Okay, now we can set that aside. Big guitar pick. I love that. Look at the size of it. It's so fun. Then I'm going to make sure I save my die so it doesn't go missing. Okay, and the next thing I want to do is I want to grab a piece of basic white. Here we are. And again, I'm going to be embossing. So I want to take my embossing buddy, rub it all over. This time I'm going to emboss this in silver. The reason I'm doing it is because it's the microphone, like the old-fashioned mics that they used to have. It reminds me of Huey Lewis. I don't know why, but so fun. And I'm just going to grab a piece of paper. I'm going to dump my embossing powder on. Go, turn that over. There we go. And put all of that back inside. And of course, most importantly, put the lid on in case it goes flying. And again, we're going to heat up our tool. I'm going to be cutting this out with a coordinating die. So we just want to get it. It just looks so much more real than just stamping it in a regular ink. I think the silver embossing powder really makes it pop. So fun. And once your embossing tool is heated up, like it was for the first one, it doesn't take long to do subsequent embossing. Okay, so I'm just going to let that cool for a sec. And then I'm going to grab that coordinating die that we talked about. Here it is. Place that on top. And grab a piece of repositionable tape. And I'm just doing that because sometimes I find that a die can move and then it kind of gets messed up. And of course you could just redo it. But this sometimes will at least make it so that it doesn't move as much. I can run that through. Before I put my machine away, I'm going to grab a piece of a lemon lolly. And there are these little lightning bolts, which can be used for the sound that comes out of the mic, right? Like the sound waves. That's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to put that on top, and we're going to just run that through. I love when Stampin' Up! Gives us more than one die in the set that cuts a similar or the same shape. And that way you don't have to run it through as much. Okay. So that's about all the embossing that we're going to do. So we can grab all this and make sure we don't lose any of our little lightning pieces. If your piece gets stuck in the die, there's these little holes, and you just use a little, take a pick tool, and you can just poke those out. Really simple. All right, so we've got all our bits. Now we just have to assemble our card. So here we go. I'm going to grab a light smoky slate blend because it's quite white and stark. You can see. I just want to add a little bit of color, and I'm not coloring the whole thing in. I'm just adding a little bit of accent color to the piece, just to give it a little bit of definition. Let me hold that up for you so you can see. Hopefully it might be hard to see. Okay, let's grab all of this. So we've got our rock and roll. I'm just going to glue that on. And then we're going to pop up our sentiment here, or our magnaphone, our microphone. Excuse me for being a little discombobulated. I have done 4 recordings today because I wanted to get these ready for you because I'm going to be going away, as you know. So I have just cut some strips of Stampin' Dimensionals that I thought I would use up for the microphone here. Microphones now are so small, aren't they? But I think we can all remember, or we've seen an old movie where they've spoken into their mic. I'm just going to do that. And then we've got our sound waves. Okay, now for these guys, I do want to find my, let's see here, my Stampin' Dimensionals. My goodness. Good thing this is my last recorded and I'll be back live. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little more guy on there. And then I've got a bigger one here. Let's just put a little dimensional on there. And then a little dimensional on this guy. And let's see how these are going to line up. So once I figure out where I'm going to put them, then I can add a little bit of glue. Okay, so this guy here, I think we'll put in the middle. So I need a little bit of glue just on the end here. And that's going to be coming out of the mic. And then this one here, I'm thinking, yeah, that looks good. The back off of that. Just pop that up. This is very loud. This music is very loud. And then I'll just put this guy maybe here. Yeah, well, maybe just, no, I don't like that. So let me just see. You have to just play. I guess it could go this way, right? Like the music could be going. So here's my original card. So you can see I've got the music coming out, or you can change the way the music's coming. Okay. So that's my card for today. I will, let me come back here. I'm going to be back live. This is the, let's see here, March the 20th. Yeah, and so I won't be back live until a couple of weeks because, actually, this is the 27th. Sorry. I'm sorry, guys. This is March 27th. So I actually will be back next Wednesday because Sunday is Easter. So I won't be live on Easter, but I'll see you back here, but I'll be live. So thanks for putting up with these recordings while I've been away. I appreciate it. Bye for now and happy